Brian, dear, we've gone over this time and time again. In fact, we seem to revisit it every pay period, and I have to confess that I'm still mystified by your confusion. Now, what is it that you still don't understand?
Well, I don't understand is why I'm only getting paid a third of what everyone else is getting, even though I'm teaching the same
Who
classes.
is everyone else, Brian?
Well, for example, Louise Bungie.
You're dripping again, dear. Take a tissue. But how on earth would you even know how much Louise makes? Salary amounts are strictly confidential.
Because I saw her stub.
Well, first of all, dear, you have no business looking at Louise's stub.
But she showed it to me. I said, if you show me your stub, I'll show you mine.
You showed her your stub?
Yes, and she laughed. But I just don't think that this is
Brian,
one of those...
Secondly...
Second of all...
What?
Parallel structure.
Brian!
Sorry.
As you know, Louise is classified Tier 2. She's full-time and tenured faculty, while you, Brian dear, are Tier 4. You are part-time. Therefore, what may look to you like a gross discrepancy in your paycheck amount is merely a reflection of your classification difference.
But she's doing the same thing I'm doing, and I've been here 6 years
Brian.
longer than she. I have more
Brian.
and higher degrees, and she's getting more than twice what I'm getting.
Brian! Listen to me. You're not doing the same thing, dear. This is what I've been trying to explain to you. For one thing, Louise is teaching 5 classes for us. You're only teaching 3.
That's not true. I'm teaching 6.
That's impossible, Brian. You know perfectly well that the university has a strict rule about part-time instructors only teaching up to 4 courses. It's designed to protect you against exploitation and full-time benefits.
I'm only teaching 3 here, but I'm also teaching 1 night class at the community college and 3 at the state prison.
Well, that's your choice, of course.
I wouldn't have to if I were paid a decent wage.
Brian, can we break this cycle anytime soon? I have work to do. Just a minute. Good afternoon and welcome to Resources Limited. How can I help you?
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking for human resources.
Oh, are you with the university?
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be a teaching assistant.
In that case, this is the office you're looking for.
But I'm looking for human resources. You said this was...
Well, yes, we are an independent contractor. We normally do employment services, but the university hires us to do their human resource work as well. They use us so that they can, avoid messy union issues.
Ah.
Anyway, let's get your name and client ID number and we can pull up your paperwork.
Oh, well, that's okay. It looks like this gentleman was here before me. You go ahead. I can wait.
Oh, that's just Brian. He's one of our part-timers, and we're finished with what we were talking about.
Hello. We are?
Brian, could you please put the drum down?
I was just trying to warn him of the danger.
I know, dear, but it's very distracting. And you're still dripping. You're dripping. Here's more tissue. Now, I don't believe I got your name.
Oh, yeah, it's Phil McElvain.
No. Last names, please. Okay. Let me check to see if you... Yes. I got a note earlier this morning from the dean, so your paperwork is all ready to go. You'll be working with Professor Hammurabi in history as his teaching assistant. I just need you to read over the contract here, which explains your classification, your salary, and binding terms and conditions. Just go ahead and read that over, and when you're done, I just need your signature right there.
Okay.
And be sure to let me know if you have any questions.
Okay. Well, actually, what's this?
What's what?
It says I'm a Cast 3.
Oh, that's just your classification. That's our system for keeping track of your position for the sake of paperwork.
A cast?
Well, yes, that's right. Well, what am I saying? It says right here you were a drama major. You should be familiar enough with that term.
It's not spelled the same.
That's a colonial spelling, like theater.
Ah.
It's just a category so we can keep track. We also refer to it as a tier. So, for example, a full-time tenured male professor would be Tier 1, a female of the same rank would be Tier 2, a graduate student, male or female, Tier 3, and part-time faculty like Brian here would be Tier 4. It's all a system of tiers.
You can say that again.
Brian, honey, do you mind waiting outside? You're dripping all over my juggernaut.
But I had some more questions, Dolores.
Yes, I know you do, dear. But I need to finish up with this gentleman, so why don't you just wait outside and we'll get back to this lecture. Sorry about that.
Excuse me, but if you don't mind my asking, what's wrong with his eyes?
Adjunctivitis. Disgusting, isn't it?
It's awful. Has he seen a doctor?
No coverage. No medical for part-time. Tragedy, but what can you do?
Wow, that's really sad. Speaking of coverage, I was wondering, do I get any kind of coverage?
Oh, absolutely, yes, sir.
Oh, good, like a faculty type thing?
No,
or HMO?
no. As a graduate student, you have a different plan. You have the student health services.
Oh. And they're good there?
Oh, yes, Tiffany is wonderful. She's an undergraduate in exercise and sports sciences, and she's a certified nursing aid assistant helper with complete web access to several medical fact sheets. Now, you give me that copy, good. No. You keep the goldenrod, that's yours, and you give me the canary, and you're good to go.
Okay, now, do I,
If I were you, I'd check in with Professor Hammurabi and introduce yourself so that you can get started on your work study.
Oh, great. Thanks.
No trouble at all. And if you have any questions at all, be sure and visit our website.